Hello everyone. This is going to be a video for the sign of Cancer and Scorpio. It's been a little hectic last couple of days, so I do apologize on the delay. The energy, one of the biggest messages right now, so you might hear my dog in the background. It's like super hot where I am right now. It's like 90 degrees. It's not even 10 o'clock in the morning yet. Well, just about 10. So I do apologize for that. But okay, so the energy is shifting like right off the bat. Especially because of like water element being where I was at when I was doing the videos, water element right now is going through a massive shift. Like, I don't know if like you guys were feeling stuck or if you guys were feeling like in a rut or just like kind of in heavier energy, but like you guys are going to have a moment and I really feel like you're just going to wake up and you're just going to shift and it's just going to be like this like weight off of your shoulders type of energy, or just like a shift of like some type of like flood of energy that's going to like hit you guys. I know Pisces was the last read that I had uploaded, and there's a shift going on right now in the water element, because it's kind of funny how it fell that way, because I was like right in the middle of doing water signs and then boom, this energy shifted, and it's like, okay, like I'm just trying to pay attention to the energy that I'm feeling. Another message is if you guys are in a home environment or a home situation, there's going to be a lot of change. Your environment is about to change. Like, I don't know if somebody's planning on moving or if like something's getting initiated, like a process is being initiated, that's going to ultimately like change some type of an environment. So I don't know what that's about, but all right, so we're going to start again. Cancer is kind of where I'm at now. So new love. So a new person has stirred your romantic feelings. I also feel like this is just simply like recapturing the childlike innocence of like a romantic connection. Like you're recapturing that spark. Again, you could have a new person coming into your life, but I honestly feel like this is more like recapturing of an energy that maybe you didn't, I don't know, maybe you kind of felt like it wasn't there. Maybe you kind of questioned yourself. There's a recapturing of a spark, recapturing of an energy of new love and true love. So that's pretty significant energy when it comes to a connection. I feel like you're already in a connection, or you're already in contact with somebody, or you already have somebody who's very prominent in your energy. This is somebody who, again, recapturing that spark, and this is a true, like, divine connection. It might not be like the easiest connection, and I feel very called to like mention that, because I feel like people think that like relationships should be like really, really easy all the time. But like in reality, we're all humans and we all make mistakes and we all have work that we need to do on ourselves. And, you know, like that's what we're here for. So like, again, not every relationship is easy. Not every situation is going to be easy. I feel like this is a situation that you guys have been through some shit. You guys have worked through some stuff. And I feel like the fact that you guys are willing to put in the work on each other just kind of shows the dedication and the loyalty of this connection, of the strength of it. So I feel like that's significant for somebody. I'm actually just seeing a crab. So I'm actually seeing you guys kind of like right in your element. I feel like you're not in your shell, you're out of your shell, or you're coming out of your shell. Like, I'm seeing the beach. I'm seeing sand dollars. I don't know if somebody's going to the beach or they're planning a trip to the beach, or maybe you guys feel very called to go to the beach. There's something significant about sand dollars. I don't know if like you're going to find one, you're going to see one, you're going to get one. You're going to see something with a sand dollar on it. I don't know what that is. I feel like you're going to see like a sign, or like you're going to see like a picture, or like somebody's going to give you something, or you're going to find it on the beach, but it's a sand dollar. Or like something like, no, that's a sand dollar. Hold on. Do I have one up here? I might have one. I mean, I'm sure you guys can look it up. You know, it's a sand dollar. So we actually have a couple cards that came out. So we have past life relationship, love yourself first, very soon, and release your ex. So Cancer, what I see going on here is you definitely have like some type of a very deep connection with somebody significant in your life that goes back some time. Again, take that as you will, take that as you will. Whether it be past, like actual physical present past, or this is like past life type of shit. Love yourself first. I definitely feel like somebody had to learn a lesson. especially when it comes to putting themselves first, loving themselves first. I feel like there was a connection between two people that kind of really pushed that self-love thing, that thing we all go through, that thing we have to learn and remember to incorporate. Yeah. So very soon release your ex. There is a release of something that I feel from the past. I feel that it involved an energy that required you to love yourself first. Like, you could have been in a relationship, you could have been in a situation, environmentally, situationally, relationships, like whatever it might be. You had to learn to put yourself first. You had to learn to love yourself first. You had to learn these lessons, or the person you're connecting with had to learn these lessons throughout time. And so now comes the time to finally release. And so now comes the time that you can finally clear that energy, make a decision. It looks like somebody's clearly deciding on what it is that they want, and it could have to do with a new connection. It could have to do with a very divine connection, a very intense connection. And it's like somebody is choosing to let go of the past because they're choosing to step into that self-love, self-empowerment role. And by doing that, it's total release. It's like, all right, I'm done. This is exhausting. This past shit is exhausting. I'm tired of it. Like, even my dog is responding to the energy right now. Like, he's like, I'm tired of this. Like, he's just like, like, I don't know if you can hear him in the background, but he's like, he responds like, it's pretty cool. Animals will tell you a lot. There's significance right now with animals. I don't know if you're seeing, like, there's foxes have been extremely prominent, buffalo, or like a yak. Like, I don't know if it's a buffalo or a yak. I want to say buffalo. But there's some type of a message behind the symbols of these animals, or you're going to see them, just kind of like with the sand dollar thing. Like, you're going to see an image, or you're going to see something and it's going to speak to you, or it's going to like resonate with you. And it's going to be something of like, I don't know, you're just going to see something. And that's just kind of what they're showing me. It's like a billboard. I don't know what that is. Like, I honestly don't know how to interpret a billboard. So it's like, I guess maybe you're moving and it's like, oh, hey, like something catches your eye. I don't know. But there's something very significant with symbolism. That's for sure. So I'm going to go ahead and pull some cards for Cancer. But it looks like if you are in a solid, strong connection right now, you're good. Like, you're absolutely good. Like, you guys might even be planning a vacation. You guys might be planning like some time away, dealing with somebody older and younger, or like there's an age gap between two people. But it's like taking the time out to really spend time with one another, taking the time out to really focus on the two of you and release whatever's going on around you, like whether it's the past, whether it's environmental stresses, whether it's work. You're letting that shit go, and you're making a decision to focus on what's in front of you and to put that work in on a connection. So I do see that here too. If you guys are in a new situation where you guys are like getting to know one another, this is something where you guys feel very drawn to each other. This is a very strong connection, and I feel like it's not very clear. I feel like there's something very, my camera even just kind of focused when I said that. It's kind of weird. I feel like there's going to be a clarity that's going to come in after a time period apart. Or like after a time period of somebody learning to put themselves first, or like really kind of embracing that role. Because I still feel like somebody's in the process of releasing. So if you're in like a newer situation where it's like you can confidently say like, okay, like I'm talking to this person, like, you know, like we're sharing moments with each other. That give it time, like give it some time, because I feel like whatever's not clear right now is like that murky energy that's kind of working itself out. Like something's working itself out. And I feel like there's something very strongly connected to the moon. I don't know if it's like there's like a cycle that has to go through with the moon, or like something needs to shift with the moon. I'm not really, again, I'm not super educated on like the phases of the moon. So if that's significant to somebody who sees this message, it might resonate for you, where it's like you might hear that message and be like, okay, I understand exactly what that means. But there's something about like moon cycles with this situationship. Like, I don't know if you guys like always like something always happens on like a certain moon phase, or like you're noticing a pattern. Like maybe this person's like really like operates under that moon energy. Maybe they're very affected by the moon. It's just like, but again, Cancer. I'm reading Cancer, so that makes sense with the moon. And then my dog in the background. Like, it makes sense. There might be a little bit of frustration. Again, if you're already in a connection, you're good. You're solid. You guys have been through some shit. You guys have worked it out, but you guys have a strong connection. You guys are taking time away from the world, disconnecting from social media, spending time with one another. You guys rock solid. These are the newer situations that I'm talking about. These newer connections that like maybe only have like a couple months in the works here. There's something not clear. This is a very strong connection. Like somebody, like, well, maybe not even just one, both people in this connection had to learn something and are in the process of learning something as it comes together. I don't know if somebody is at a distance from you, or if it's like all of a sudden it's like, here it comes. Like I'm like literally hearing an announcer at a race. It's like, here it comes. Like it's just like kind of like, I don't know. These are just off the Romance Angels, so I haven't even pulled cards yet. So, I mean, like, that's pretty deep. So, let's see if we can get some more information here. Woo. Okay, so I don't take cards off the floor, but I am going to take that into consideration. I'm just going to look at this for a second. So, we have the Ace of Pentacles, and we have a card here up on my arm with the Ace of Swords and the Hermit. This Hermit has been very prominent. Virgo energy. Very strong. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. Now, the cards that fell on the floor were the Death card and the Hangman. So, I mean, right off the bat, the way I interpreted that is like somebody likes to write poetry. Somebody's very artistic, very creative. Somebody's also very deep in their emotions. Somebody's very connected in their emotional state. Like, I don't know if you're dealing with a writer. You're dealing with somebody who can communicate words, but it's through like a rhythm and like a flow. I don't know, it's significant to somebody. The Hangman, I almost just said the High Man. I don't know what that means. I don't know. Again, I don't know. No judgment here. So I don't know, you know. Damn, and I just looked at this Hangman card. It literally kind of looks like weed. So I don't know if you're dealing with somebody who just like smokes weed or something. I don't know. Or maybe works with plants. It could just be like weed is in like weed plant. Like, I don't know. That's kind of interesting. I've never gotten that off this card. This could be the ending of a situation. Like something is like literally getting thrown in the past, and it could be involving some type of a stagnant energy or some type of a moment hung up in time. It's like this person hanging back, just kind of like chilling, not making a move. And it's like that energy is just like, okay, total transformation. Like somebody's seeing something and it's been cultivated and it's like a big shift out of that energy. I don't know if somebody like is going to, I feel like I'm at an urgency. Like, I feel like I have to like I feel like I gotta like scream this message out, and I don't know why, but I feel like somebody's going to come in very, very, very quickly or like urgently. Like their energy is going to be like very high in like, I got to tell you this, I got to get this out, I got to tell you how I feel, blah, 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 blah. Like you're going to, like that's how this energy feels. So if you're dealing with somebody who like has been holding back, like, I mean, really holding back, like they're coming at you and I'm seeing like a slingshot where it's like this person's been like winding back, but like that rubber band's gonna like, it's gonna snap that other, like you guys are gonna be, it's just like two rubber bands and like two things coming together. Like you can stretch apart as far as you want. I mean, like the rubber band, like I'm looking at like this rubber band's not gonna break. You know what I mean? Like you guys are like, I don't know. I'm just seeing like this image of this person like just pulling back, and then like releasing, and then this just coming at this other person like just super like boom. And it's, I don't know if it's after a time period of like retreating, taking some time away. This person needs to slow down. Like you're dealing with somebody who's very like tense, like very like like I don't know if that's just how the energy is going to be hitting them. But with the Hermit, the Ace of Swords, and the Ace of Pentacles, this is somebody who's soul searching. And so that's kind of why I'm like, there might be a little bit of a distance right now, whether it be emotionally, physically, like a separation, communication. But it's like somebody's soul searching. This Ace of Pentacles, this Ace of Swords, like some type of truth, clarity. The Hermit with the Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords, like, this Hermit is sitting on a lot of, like, this is a lot of growth that this person is sitting on. It's like opportunities, like, whoop. Okay, what are you? Temperance. Okay, you didn't fall out, but you caught my attention. The Tower card at the bottom of the deck with the Six of Wands. So whoever's in this Hermit energy right now, this Hermit is going to gain clarity about a new opportunity, something to build. This is a very practical energy. This is a very grounded energy. Even with the Ace of Swords, like, this is very grounded. You actually have a lot of elements here. You have fire, earth, and air. You don't have water. And again, I'm reading for Cancer, so I don't see any water yet, other than the Tower at the bottom of the deck here. So this is like a sudden shift, sudden clarity, sudden conversation, sudden movement forward. But this is also like recognition and like people like celebrating you, or like having a lot of friends around you, having a lot of support in a situation, moving forward successfully. Like, you're very decorated. Like, this is like the battle, like victory after the battle. So again, after a time period of maybe like deep reflection, could be working on your health, focusing on your health. It's like putting that priority first. It's like, here comes that Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords, and it's like successful. Or there's some type of like recognition for it. Or like, this is also gaining confidence and pride. Like, somebody's gaining like a confidence and a pride about maybe who they are, what they do. They feel very successful and victorious over it. And again, it could have to do with releasing whatever energy it is that they need to release. And it's like finally like doing the work, and then boom, here it is. Okay, that's a lot of cards. I'll take them. Okay. You have the Queen of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Hold on, let me see something. Ooh, Hierophant at the top of the deck. Huh. I don't know if somebody was hiding kind of what they were doing in the background. Like, they weren't telling you that they were like working on finances, or like they weren't telling you like they weren't telling you what they were doing. Like, they were doing something like kind of like trying to get away with something. But I don't necessarily feel the Seven of Swords being like, I don't feel it being, hold on a second. Exactly. Like, I don't feel like the Seven of Swords is coming in here to say like, oh, this is something you should be worried about. No, I feel like this is somebody who was trying to like sneak around a conversation because they wanted to build a foundation. Like, you have the Hierophant, the Ten of Pentacles, okay, surrounding the Seven of Swords here with, like, this is like I don't know, this is a weird energy. This is like somebody feeling like they could get away with like not telling you like 100% truth, but like they weren't even doing anything wrong, or like they weren't doing anything that like needed to be hidden, or like they could have just like, you know what I mean? Like, it was very suspicious. Like, they're like, I'm just seeing like this sus. Like, I don't know, like something's just very sus. And like, I don't know if there's like an Empress, because you have the Empress here, and it's like this energy is looking right at the Empress, but it's like almost like, I'm going to sneakily build this little foundation. And it's like, why are you like, you're looking at, this person's looking at you as the Empress. So I don't know if you're dealing with somebody who's just very stubborn in the way that they are, where they're like, I have to have this before I can do this. I have to have a house before I can approach somebody. I have to have a good job before I can, feel like I'm, doing this. And I mean, like, hey, that's just the personality that you're dealing with. But you're dealing with somebody, again, who didn't want to tell you what their moves were. Like, this is somebody who, like, moved in silence, but, like, it looked very suspicious. And so I don't know if you were, like, questioning somebody's intent towards you, or, like, you're questioning somebody's, like, integrity of their word. I don't know what that's about. But it's, like, I don't think this person was hiding anything from you other than maybe like working. Like, I don't think they were hiding anything. I feel like this person was like trying to move towards some type of a commitment and also build some type of a foundation after a time period of like healing. But again, it's like, hold on, I'm hearing like multiple energies. Hold on. Okay, let me get one out at a time. Let me get one story out at a time here, because I'm seeing a couple different things. Okay, if you're dealing with a romantic connection, any type of situation here, okay, romantic connection, fairly new connection, okay, I feel like you were dealing with somebody who portrayed themselves as being very like in and out, very like, oh, you know, like hot shot type of like player, like, you know, like I do what I want when I want, like I don't commit, blah blah blah. Like if you're dealing with that type of an energy, this person like wasn't telling you what they were focused on, but they were extremely stressed out over building some type of like 10 of Pence situation. But I don't think it was like, I don't, again, that Seven of Swords, because I'm very suspicious of the Seven of Swords whenever it comes out. And so I'm like, all right, let me see the surrounding cards here. But somebody's like really stressed out over a connection. So I don't know if you were dealing with somebody who thought that they could like take that time out and get their money right and then kind of just like come in and out whenever they want, or like they're just like, all right, like, but like they're like it's stressing them out, like, because even with this Eight of Pence here, it's like somebody is like really stressed out. With the Four of Swords, that tells me that they like need to take time out because they're stressed out. They need to heal. They need to work on themselves. The Four of Swords is also very spiritual. And with the Four of Swords being in here and being more of a spiritual card with the Seven of Swords, I almost feel like somebody either A, thought that they could like get around a certain type of situation. Like maybe this person had a lesson in communication since we're dealing with swords, and they kind of thought they could like step around it. And it's like, oh, if I just don't have this conversation, then I can just do everything I need to do. And then like, boom, everything will be fine. And I won't have to have that conversation. Again, not really how it works. Because again, ultimately, if that's the situation, it stressed this person out because they're like, I want to work towards this. And so they're like at the Eight of Pence looking at the Empress energy, and they're like, okay, I'm working really hard, but I feel like they're not telling you stuff, or they're not like telling you exactly what they're doing, or they're trying to like sidestep something or like sidestep a conversation. Now, another energy completely separate from relationships, you could have somebody, there is an energy here of like, if you invite somebody to your house, like a friend or an acquaintance, be aware because this person might try to steal from you or steal from the person whose house they're at. I don't normally get messages like that. It's just like kind of like I'm just seeing like a flash, like urgent sign. So again, this is somebody who would be like very successful. Like they have a home, they have a nice place, they got nice things. Like this is somebody who has like, it's the 10 of Pence, right? So you have a home, you have, you know, whatever it is, like you got your foundation built, like you have your situation built, you have your place built. You might have somebody come over, and it's like either while somebody's like taking time out while somebody's like sleeping even, there could be a little bit of like an energy where it's like, be careful of who you have in your house, or be careful of who you invite to your house. Be careful of, what is this? Like, I don't know if somebody's just like distracted. Like maybe I'm seeing like an energy of somebody like maybe getting housework done, and like I don't know, say for example, you have somebody coming over, like who are the people who work on houses where they put like siding up or like roofing up or like landscaping, like whatever it is, like there's something going on with like somebody's house that's like being worked on, that's being fixed, where there's a lot of like people involved. And with the Empress, that kind of tells me with the 10 of Pence that somebody who's extremely like successful in the sense of like, you foundation. So like this Empress is kind of like at a distance from everything. And so maybe like while this energy is like either A, not around, or B, like sleeping or something, like something's going on at that location. So again, I don't know if you know somebody or if like somebody's going to see this message in the future. Just be aware if you have people at your house who you're not very familiar with. Make sure that you have other people with you who you trust. There could be an energy here where somebody might try to like steal off of your property. And it's like while you're sleeping. Again, I've never gotten a message like this before. So that's why I'm like, hold on, let me get like one message at a time. But with the Hierophant here, it's like this, whoever's doing it, like whoever's trying to steal from you or whoever is trying to steal from said person or said house, said location, that individual is going to walk directly into the Hierophant. So that individual is walking directly into some type of a lesson or some type of like a spiritual like halt. Like I don't know, like it's like this person thinks they can get away with something and then boom, here's the Hierophant. And it's like this could be even like, again, I don't usually associate the Hierophant with like a law enforcement or something, but it's like the Hierophant is somebody like very high up, you know, in regards to like this would be able to dish out some sort of a lesson. So like this Hierophant's like this person's walking directly into this Hierophant. So again, if something like that happens, I feel like justice will be served, even though justice isn't out yet. Hold on, let me pull a card for that. Okay, the Four of Wands came out. So again, this definitely has to do with somebody's home situation. Seven of Swords popped out again, and the Devil card. I don't know if you're dealing with an ex, or if you're dealing with just like a worker or somebody around your environment, around your home. But somebody, again, is walking directly into the Devil, the Hierophant. Like, that's kind of weird because it's like the Hierophant, like very spiritual, the Devil, opposite end, if you want to go like very symbolic. I've never gotten a message like this before. So hold on, bear with me while I try to figure this out. I'm sorry, you guys. I'll get back to like the romantic part. I just like, or like the relationship part. It's just like, this is important because this is like somebody's home and people around them. This could be somebody in some type of law or like some type of high-end position, like in regards to like maybe they work like a like an official job, or like maybe this person works like a I don't know, maybe local government, maybe like, I don't know, like I don't want to get that far into it, but this person works like it's a King of Swords. This is a very diplomatic energy. It's like when this person's not looking, something's going on in their environment. But I feel like whatever is happening with this Seven of Swords, because they're not letting me go too far, because again, it's like kind of like a, I'm not very familiar with what this energy is, but it's like somebody thinking that they can get something over on somebody. But again, I don't know if you're like messing with somebody who's going to dish it back. Like, again, this person's like protected. So whoever has like a home environment right now, like I don't think you have anything to worry about. I just think that like if you're getting work done at the house, or like there's people over at your house who you're not very familiar with, because again, like these would be people that you're just not very like familiar with. These would be people that like maybe you've met once, maybe they're complete strangers, like maybe it's just like a situation where somebody's getting like new siding on their house and there's like workers, or like I don't know. I don't want to like pinpoint anything like that, but I'm just saying like there's people at a location working on something, maybe outside the building, and something shady is going on. And I don't think that whoever owns that property sees what's going on, because like whatever shady's happening. But I do feel like justice is going to be served though, because with the seven, like this person's walking directly into the Hierophant and the Devil in both cards. So it's a spiritual lesson. So somebody's like, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, it just seems very petty. It doesn't feel like it's a dangerous situation by any means. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's like petty theft. It's like petty, like just dumb shit like that. Like, I don't think anybody's going to be like, injured or anything, nothing like that. I would never, no. No, no, no. I'm saying like somebody's like outside your house and like say for example like you leave your garage open and you have other construction workers or people who you're not familiar with, a company you're not familiar with, and say there's people like outside doing stuff and you leave your garage open, or say for example I'm dealing with somebody who might be like a handyman and say they drive a van with tools or something and that person leaves their van open and there's a group of people around this person who might like go into that van and steal somebody's tools, or go to this location and kind of root through somebody's garage. It's like that type of situation, but I feel like the justice is going to be served in the situation because whoever these people are who think that they can get away with it, they're walking directly into the Hierophant and they're walking directly into the Devil card, and I don't think that they're going to get away with it. So again, if that resonates, it resonates. If not, again, just let it pass. I'll get back to the other part of the reading here shortly once I get this message out. Because again, this deals with somebody's property, somebody's home. This is somebody who's built some type of a foundation. Again, it could be a situation where somebody's like, traveling on the job and say they park their truck or they park their van and they leave it open and all of a sudden like they come back and tools are missing, or there's things missing out of their car, but it's like petty theft. Like, again, I don't see anything crazy. I don't see anything tragic. It's just petty theft situations that I feel are going to get either solved, or it's going to be just like there's going to be justice in a situation, especially with the King of Swords. It's very diplomatic. Like the King of Swords is somebody who might even work in that field. So I feel like it's going to get resolved rather quickly. So whatever situation it is, I feel like it's going to be resolved. So back to the romance angels and that part of the story that we have going on here. I want to step out of that energy. So clear out of that. I hope I channeled it the best that I could. I hope I didn't scare anybody by any means. That's not my intent. It's just a warning. It's just like, hey, make sure that you lock your car. Or if, say, for example, somebody in your family, if they are like a handyman or they work with tools and they, drive a truck and say, for example, they keep their tools in their truck a lot, or a van, they keep their tools in their truck or they're in their van, just, tell that person, hey, make sure you lock your car when you walk away, or, whatever it is, like make sure that you, put a blanket over expensive tools in the back. I don't know, like there's something like very petty about whatever it is that takes place, whether it be in like a garage or like a truck or a van or somebody's house. It's like people around them that they're not familiar with. So again, you could be like just in an area that you're not familiar with, and you walk away for 5 minutes, and then what you think was 5 minutes, something took you an hour, and then you come back and then, oh shit, like my tools are gone. I'm like, I don't know what that's about. So I'm sorry, I don't mean to laugh. It's just the energy like kind of working, like it's an awkward thing to do. So, all right, back to the connections here. Drink my coffee. Back to the romantic connection. So I feel like you were dealing with somebody who felt like they didn't have to have a conversation with you in order to get what it was that they wanted. But I feel like the way that they went about it ended up stressing them out even more, because they realized like how in your power you really were. And coming in as the Empress, it's like this person knows that they have to like work like to get up to that level. And it's like, oh shit, this stressed me out. Like, I'm looking at this foundation. I didn't like appropriately like kind of discuss how I felt. Maybe I didn't have these communications. Maybe I didn't have a conversation. Maybe I didn't tell this person how I felt. Maybe I didn't think that this person like wouldn't chase me. You're dealing with somebody who thought that you would like follow them or like chase them or like entertain the idea of that behavior maybe. And this is somebody who, again, went very deep within and is soul searching about some type of a clarity and offer. This person could have been like holding back or have very like limiting beliefs about themselves, where maybe they felt like they couldn't do something. They felt like they weren't able, to. The Eight of Swords is somebody who purposely holds themselves back. Like that person can get out of something very easily, or they can just stay where they're at. And this is somebody who just chose to stay where they were at because they didn't want to make a decision, about something, but it's like they know what they want. They just wanted to like do it their way, if that makes sense. But I don't necessarily feel like you're dealing with somebody who has ill intent, because it's a very strong connection here. Damn it, that energy's coming back. Hold on a second. There's another energy here with this. If you are like in a situation or you have a relationship, and say, for example, you're planning a vacation, just make sure that like you tell your neighbors that you trust to like watch your house, your whatever. Like, I don't like giving messages like that, but it's here. So just like be aware, like just take like extra precautions. Make sure that, you don't leave like doors unlocked or garages open or your car or whatever. Like if you have like, valuable items in your vehicle or in your garage, like just make sure that you're aware, and like, because there's a sneaky energy here. And I don't know if it's people you know or if it's like people you don't know. But say, for example, you take a weekend trip and it's like all of a sudden you come back and like just shit's in like disarray. Like somebody tried to like, like I don't know. There's a weird energy here. So just be aware. Like make sure that you're in communication with people. Like if you go away for the weekend, like, and you trust one of like somebody around you, like a neighbor or something, like who you really know that you can trust, and just be like, hey, like, can you keep an eye out? Like, on my stuff, like keep an eye out on my house, like, I don't know, like just there's a weird energy. But I'm going to just transition out of that. Okay. I'm trying to just be aware. If you're leaving for any type of time or whatever it is, just make sure that you, lock your stuff up, or, don't leave your stuff out, like your valuables or something. Like the 7 of Swords with the 10 of Pence, it's like, be careful of like what you leave out, or like, be careful of like, again, I'm seeing a car. And it's like somebody thinking that they can get away with it, but like they walk directly into the Hierophant. So it's like, it's ultimately like there's going to be some type of a justice being served in whatever this is, but it's like somebody feels like they can get away with it. And it's while like other people aren't like paying attention, or like people leave an area or something. Just be aware. Just lock your car, just make sure, just be aware of stuff like that. I don't see anything like, I don't see violence and stuff like, I don't see that. I see like petty. You could even be dealing with like a group of kids. You know what I'm saying? Like a group of kids who, just think it's, funny to tear shit up or whatever. You know what I mean? Like you're dealing with something that's very petty, but that's ultimately going to A, be found out, or B, be like serve some type of justice in a situation, especially with the Hierophant. Because the 7 of Swords is literally walking. It's literally walking out of the 10 of Pence into the Hierophant. So whatever they think they're getting away with, they're not getting away with. Even spiritually, they're not getting away with it. I don't know what that's about. But this is somebody who felt like they could get around the situation because somebody was like distracted, or somebody wasn't paying attention, or there wasn't somebody there, or like something like that. So back to I'm going to step away from that. Back to the romantic connection. This is somebody who thought that they could like the Moon, the 3 of Wands, the 4 of Cups. Somebody was very emotional about something at a distance, looking, waiting. Somebody who didn't want to make moves because they were hurt or because they needed to heal from a situation. Could have to do with like the Moon card being out here. It's like there could be a strong connection to some mother figure where it's like there's a deep wounding, especially with the Empress being out. So there could have been like something very deep that like somebody was trying to heal from, or that ultimately ended up interfering in a connection, or like in somebody's ability to have a conversation or to ground a situation. But whoever this is feels like they missed an opportunity with the 4 of Cups. But it's like they're at a distance. And then you have this Empress who's like just working, minding their business, but they could be pretty stressed out about a situation. They could feel like somebody's trying to like pull one over on them. Like, I don't know if you feel like you feel like somebody just, again, you're questioning somebody's intent. You're questioning somebody's, what their motive is. I'm hearing that song. Is it literally called What's Your Motive? Is that Ariana Grande? I don't know who sings that song, but that song's coming through, and I'm just hearing like that one part where it's like, tell me what's your motive. Like, but somebody sitting at whoever's in this Empress energy, like, you're good. You might be stressed out, but I feel like you're taking the time out to kind of balance those emotions. You're taking the time out to balance that stress. And you're like, you know what? Okay, I'm starting to get worried about this. I'm starting to get stressed out about this. I'm going to walk away and I'm going to just take care of myself. And with the Empress being here, again, back to the other situation, because it's popping up, I don't want anybody to worry, okay? Because this could be somebody around you. You might see something go down like this. It doesn't always directly affect you. It's just a frequency. It's an energy. With the Empress and the Hierophant, it's like, you're good. Like, whatever this is very petty. It's not threatening, not like you're not put in danger. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing like that here. So please don't take that as like a fear-based reading or anything like that, because I'm really not here. This is more of like a heads up, like a warning type of message. Like, hey, just be aware of this because this energy is present, you know? So just, you know, keep a heads up, keep your eyes open, that type of deal. I'm not trying to induce fear, so please do not take it that way. So it's literally, it's just a fair warning. It's just like, hey, keep this in mind, that the energy is here in this region with this. But with you sitting at the Empress and the Hierophant over here, this tells me that everything's going to be fine. Like, everything is going to be fine. It's material related. Whatever this is material related, and it's just they thought they could get away with it, but they're not. They're walking directly into the Hierophant. So that's a lesson. So all is okay. All is okay. There's no need to, you know, it's just make sure that you know, lock your card, you know, shit like that. You know, if you notice some shit doesn't feel right, just, you know, be aware. That kind of stuff. But it's nothing crazy. I'm just going to keep reiterating that because, again, I don't want anybody to get upset because it's not why I'm here. It's just my intent for these readings is to give the messages that are for the highest good of those who need to hear it. So, back to the reading. This is deep. Somebody's at a distance. Somebody's traveling. They feel ignored. Or they're just working. They feel like they missed out on something. They missed an opportunity. They feel like they need to heal. If you're in that connection with somebody, you could be a little stressed out, focused on work. But I feel like you could be connecting with a strong Taurus energy very, very strongly. It's like one of you spiritual, one of you is material. Like complementary of each other. Like there's a complement of opposites here. I feel like with this Virgo energy, somebody is going to be coming back very successfully with a lot of recognition. Ace of Pence, Ace of Swords, clarity, grounding a situation, maybe after a time period of holding themselves back. Somebody's freeing themselves from a situation too. But again, this is somebody who thought that they could like not communicate or not have a conversation with you and still get to the end result. And this is somebody who thought that like by acting a certain type of way, it would appeal and be like cute. I don't know. But this is somebody who definitely was like more an argumentative energy, more like holding back, withholding. Like, I don't want to say like somebody was like withholding, like actually like withholding, but like somebody was like definitely withholding like their effort or like withholding their conversations as a way to like come off a certain type of way because they thought it was like attractive. I don't know. You're dealing with an energy that might be very obnoxious or like annoying to you, but it like you actually really like it. Or like you actually like it, like you understand it in a different way. Like, I don't know what that's about. It's like I don't know, like there's a weird energy here where it's like this person, like you get this person, you're like, I know why. Like, I know why. I know why this person acts this way. I know why this person does this. Like, reading between the lines. With past life relationship, true love and new love, I feel like somebody tried to not, like, acknowledge it. Like, somebody tried not to acknowledge whatever connection this is. They're like, I don't want to acknowledge this right now. I want to do it my way or the highway. I want to do this. Sidestep a conversation. I'd rather work on finances than have a conversation about this, because if I at least have my finances, then I have something to offer. Ace of Pentacles. Clarity. Then I'll be successful. This is somebody who has pride. Like, a lot of ego, a lot of pride. Where it's like, this person won't make moves until they feel like they have everything in their, like, toolbox. Again, back to that toolbox energy. I don't know what that's about. This person will not make moves until they feel like they won't make moves unless they feel like they have acquired things. Like, you're dealing with somebody who doesn't look at, like, emotional vulnerability as being an offer. You're looking at somebody who's like, okay, I can provide for you, and that's what I want to offer and bring to the table. So you're dealing with somebody who's not very emotional. This person's more quiet, more reserved in their emotions. This is somebody who definitely might speak through action more so than words. It's just a different type of energy here. But they felt like they could sidestep a conversation by, like, not being very direct about it. And so but ultimately it ended up stressing them out more, because they're like, oh shit, that didn't work in my favor. You know, like, oh, this didn't work. Like, why are they coming? Like, are they following me? Like, I don't know what this is. Is like, watch, if I do this and I move this way, they'll have to respond to me then. Like, you're dealing, but this Empress is like, no, I'm going to go work on my own thing. I feel like this Empress is working on something that is taking a lot of focus, or taking a majority of, like, the thought. And with this person still sitting in the Empress energy, I still feel like they're very grounded. They're very in control. But this is also somebody who might have stress on them too, where this Empress is like, okay, like, I need to work on this. She could be worried about money for some reason, but the Empress isn't somebody, it's not an archetype that worries about money. So that's like, I'm like, why is the Empress worried about money? Why is that energy worried about money? I don't know. Because the Empress wouldn't be worried about money. The Empress has everything that they need. I don't know if something happened here. Do not take me back to that energy. I'm telling you right now. This Empress is, like, worried about money. For whatever reason, I don't know. I don't know if you invested in something and it's like you're kind of, like, worried about whatever investment it was. You're worried about some type of an investment. But with you being in the Empress energy, or with whomever being in this Empress energy, I don't think it's a big... This Ten of Wands is like, you could let it go at any point in time. It's like you're looking at it, but I don't think you're... I don't know. I don't think you're carrying the weight. I'm gonna have to say it's a little bit unclear right here. So we have the Sun card. This is the Sun coming out after a situation that it's being illuminated. Because even the Sun in reverse is not a bad card. This is healing. Okay, so, Emperor, Chariot. Okay, so you were dealing with somebody very indecisive, somebody who did not want to make a decision about a foundation or did not want to make a decision very quickly about investing in a situation. The Emperor is an energy that makes moves kind of like on their own time. So you're dealing with somebody who is starting to take action now because it's like they're fully embodying the Emperor energy. But again, you were dealing with somebody who was very back and forth. But it's like this person's finally making a decision when it comes to their emotional happiness. And I feel like somebody's finally letting go of an energy that doesn't serve them anymore because they're realizing that it's like it's not useful, it's not practical. The Empress energy isn't an energy that's going to put up with bullshit. The Empress energy is only going to put up with what matches the Empress's frequency. So the Empress isn't going to settle for some stupid bullshit. The Empress is like, no. And I think that this person who you could be connecting with is kind of realizing that and is like, okay, I feel like there was somebody who really stepped in their power, and by really stepping into that self-love, they really like taught this person a lesson. And it's basically like on how to treat them. Because by stepping into your power, you're teaching somebody how to treat you, and you're showing somebody how to treat you because you're treating yourself the way that you want to be treated. And so you're demonstrating that to other people. It really taught this person a lesson when it comes to like taking action and moving forward towards things like emotional fulfillment, because you're dealing with somebody who liked to juggle. Like this person liked to juggle a lot of things, or like to juggle finances, jobs. Like they like to multitask. They don't like to just hone in on one area. But like, I think this person's seeing clarity now, because the Chariot is positive. That's successful movement forward. Like that is success moving forward. It's successful. It's moving forward. It's the ending of somebody juggling, and it's the beginning of somebody taking action towards their own happiness. And I feel like it's the Emperor energy that's in Hermit energy right now. And I feel like the Emperor, I don't know if the Empress actually sees this coming, because the Star card, you could be dealing with a Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, mainly Aquarius, Taurus energy, or type of like energy where this is somebody very connected, like very like connected to other people. And I felt I felt an energy with this Empress of just kind of like being very anxious, being very like, but not communicating, like choosing to focus on something else. Again, this Empress like wouldn't sit in this Nine of Swords for very long. So I don't know if this Empress energy was just worried about how something was going to go down, but it's like you don't have anything to worry about. Like you really don't have anything. You don't have anything to worry about. You have the like Aries here with the Emperor. This is somebody who's going to come in very quick, very like, again, doing things their way, but they're going to come in very quick, and also like taking action, taking charge of a situation. And they're going to be very successful at it, because I feel like with the Sun card crowning the Emperor over here, it's like being very successful at it with the Chariot. Like this is a happy outcome. This is somebody choosing emotional fulfillment, I feel, over material. Or if not over one another, they're going to balance it. Because this is somebody who had to learn that. And I feel like it's after a time period of like two people being apart or like being distant from each other. And it's like this Empress energy could have some anxiety over the situation, or like some sleepless nights, not sleeping very well. But with the Star card coming out over top of it, that tells me that like this Empress bounced back very quickly. Like the Star card with the Empress and the Nine of Swords, this is like, the Empress is like, okay, I know that I'm a little bit vulnerable in this situation. I feel this type of way. I'm going to acknowledge how I feel. I'm going to acknowledge my thoughts, and I'm going to transmute that energy into something positive, into something creative, into something nurturing. And I'm like, this Empress is like literally just taking this Nine of Swords and straight channeling it into like flowing water. Like that's beautiful. That's honestly beautiful energy. I would never want somebody to like sit in the Nine of Swords, but this Empress is like doing it so beautifully that it might not feel that way, but energetically, like that in itself is even of a lesson. You know, like that in of itself is, it takes time and practice to be able to pull yourself out of the Nine of Swords so elegantly. Like, that's a hard energy to sit in. So you were dealing with a connection who definitely like put you through some like emotional shit. Like, the Nine of Swords is like all mental energy. Like, that's somebody like all up in their thoughts, but it's very like, with the Star card, this is a beautiful transition of like that healing of being like able to transmute anxiety into something beautiful and creative and expression and, you know, poetry, or, you know, you're going outside, you're creating, you're gardening, you're planting flowers, like you're taking whatever it is that you can't, like, that sits up in your head, and you're just like, okay, you know what? I'm just going to transmute this energy, and you're doing it beautifully. So I feel like if you don't know or see this coming, you're dealing with somebody who's in hermit mode right now. And this Emperor is moving forward. Like, it's movement forward. The Emperor takes action, and the Chariot's here. It's movement forward, especially with the Six of Wands. Is somebody who's very like, I don't want to say in their ego, but somebody who definitely has an ego presence. Like they're very present in their ego, but not in a negative way, not in a bad way. Just somebody who definitely prides themselves in their ego energy, I guess. Like that they value that material stuff, you know? Like, I'm trying to like put it to words here. But overall, this isn't something you should worry about. You're dealing with somebody who had to overcome a lot of hurdles from their past, and luckily it's taken some time, but they did. And I feel like, yeah, this person's realizing that they deserve love. And I feel like after spending some time away from one another, or like spending time like with some type of like a distance, it's like something can come back together, and it can be like, it's like recapturing that spark. And then it's like you have the Emperor and the Empress. It's like, boom, like really recapturing that spark. Like, you have the Ten of Pens, you have the Ten of Cups. This is somebody who felt like they could kind of like get away with like not communicating, or they felt like they could get away with like not telling you something while they just worked on shit. And it's like, oh, why is this person not talking to me? Why is this person not reaching out to me? It's because they were focused on their finances. It's because they were building some type of a solid foundation for themselves to get to the Emperor. And so you were dealing with somebody who thought that they could do that without like communicating. And it, you know, again, it's not like a negative thing. It's just like, you're dealing with somebody who doesn't communicate. Like, they would rather move in silence and not tell you, even though it's like their intention could be great. You know, their intention is to build a foundation, but like, you're like, I have no fucking idea what you're like. I have no idea what your intention is, because that person's not telling you. And I feel like that left you in a very like anxiety inducing state, because it's like, okay, like, is this person being serious? Are they like, do they want to like pursue me? Are we dating? Are we not dating? Are we coming together? Are we not coming together? Like, what is this? Like, should I move on? Should I not move on? And I feel like there's an energy that's been sitting in that energy for a prolonged period of time. And I feel like, again, you're dealing with a masculine Emperor energy who felt like they didn't have to tell you shit. And so because they felt like they didn't have to tell you, like, oh, hey, I'm going to go work on my finances for like a month or so, or 2 months, 3 months. That's what my main focus is. Like, you didn't have any clarity. And because there was no clarity, you're like, what is this? And it's like, all this time, they're just like, oh, I'm just working on my finances. I'm just rebuilding my life. I'm just focused on my job. And it's like, really, like, it's not anything that you need to worry about. It's not anything that you should have anxiety about. It's nothing that you should be worried about, because it's just like a simple like misunderstanding of like communication, really, is like kind of what I'm getting off of this. And I feel like this Empress is starting to maybe realize that, or like you're getting glimpses of it. But again, there's still like that little bit of like, I don't know if I can trust this person's intentions towards me, because they're not very consistent in communication. But like, again, you're dealing with somebody who knows how to move in silence. And it's hard when you don't have clarity, because you're like, is this person like ghosting me? Is this person like, do they not want anything to do with me anymore? Like, why'd they just stop talking to me? Like, are they investing in another person? Like, what is this? It's literally their job. It's literally them building this 10 of pence. They just felt like they could do it without telling you, because they're like, I don't have to talk to you about this type of deal. Like, I don't know, you like, this person might have a touch of arrogance, but not in a bad way. Like a touch of arrogance in the way of like, just be like, well, I figured that I'd just work on my money and I'd hit you up when I had time. So, you know, like that kind of energy. But this person is bringing the 10 of pence with the Emperor. And so I feel like if you were a little bit suspicious of this person's intentions towards you when it comes to dating or anything like that, like a newer situationship, I don't think you have anything to worry about. I feel like you're dealing with somebody, again, could be strong Capricorn energy here, could be strong Aries, strong Aquarius, Taurus, Virgo very strongly, Cancer very strongly. We have Aries, Leo, Sagittarius very strongly, Scorpio, like Leo very strongly. This is somebody who I don't think you have anything to worry about. I feel like you might have been worried about this person's intentions. You might have been like, are they going to like, is this person real? Are they just playing me? Are they bullshitting me? I don't think you're dealing with a bullshitter. I think you're dealing with somebody who's very intelligent, very smart, and knows how to make moves. And you're dealing with somebody who moves in a way that they don't tell people what their move is, because they don't want others interfering with it. And that's actually very smart, because that allows that person to harness that energy and not have people trying to like interfere. And so I feel like even though it caused some confusion and some anxiety, in the end, it's going to be very positive, because it's like, oh, all of this stuff comes out to light. And then it's like, oh, now I'm seeing the bigger picture in this. Now I'm seeing why that person just kind of like didn't communicate for a little while. It's like literally this person had to grow, I feel like you're dealing with somebody who literally might have lost something in their finances, like they lost, or like maybe they split, maybe they went through a separation or a divorce, or maybe they, you know, something happened in business where this person had to like recoup finances. They had to like recoup, you know, what was kind of lost in the material world, in the financial world. And this is also somebody who prides themselves on what they have, you know, physically. So like this person feels like maybe they couldn't make an offer because they didn't have everything that they needed to feel like they could make an offer with, if that makes sense. So you're dealing with somebody who really values like stability and like I want to say finances. Like this person really values financial stability, and this person values financial stability so much so that they tend to really focus on it. But it's also in a way like you could be dealing with somebody who has an Earth Venus sign, or like a like Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, Venus, or like you're dealing with somebody who looks at material abundance as like some type of security, where they're like, okay, like I can give you this, I can provide this house for you, I can provide this whatever, or I can build this house with you, you know, better yet, I can build this house with you, this is our house, this is our, you know, thing, especially with the Emperor and the Empress. It's like, here, now I have something to offer you, because you could have been dealing with somebody who didn't feel like they were good enough, or they didn't feel like they had, because the Empress has been popping out for some minute now. It's been some time that the Empress is coming out. So I feel like this feminine energy has been in the Empress energy. And it's like whatever masculine energy that you've been connecting with has had to grow into stepping into the Emperor. And it's taken some time for this person to kind of come back around. Or maybe this is an entirely new connection. It's like, especially with new love up here. So if this isn't somebody who you're already connected with, that you like know for a fact, you're like, this is my person, or like, this is who I'm talking to right now, we're like romantically involved, you could be walking into somebody completely new and it's like, holy shit. Like this person just like right off the bat, like you're walking directly into the Emperor and this person's going to take action because they're going to see it. And this is somebody who has a lot of support around them. This is somebody who probably has a lot of friends, especially with the Six of Wands, the Emperor. This is somebody who has a lot of admirers, a lot of people in their community who like maybe A, look up to them, B, are friends with them, C, I see a mentorship even. Like you're dealing with somebody who's very much, well, in their authoritative state, but in a very independent way and in a very grounded way. I don't see this Emperor energy being narcissistic in any way, or like, you know, what everybody says about the Emperor. Like, I don't see that here. I see somebody who really values maturity and somebody who really values being like stable, you know, like having stability. Somebody really, really values that very deeply. And it might have like caught you off guard, or it might catch you off guard because you don't have like clarity at this moment, or because you haven't been given clarity to like a full capacity. And so I feel like when this clarity comes in, you're going to see it and you're going to be like, oh, okay, whether it's a new person or somebody who you're already dealing with. See what I'm saying? So, and especially with the Moon card being over here, there's something being hidden from the Empress energy that it's not being shown, it's not being seen, it's not being heard. So overall, this looks really good. I'm going to stop this at Cancer since it's an hour long. I'm going to just keep Scorpio separate because I need a little break from this. This was a lot of energy. Please don't take like the other part of this message, like with the whole like, you know, shady behavior and stuff, like please don't take that in a fear-based way. Just kind of it's just more of an awareness. It's more of like a, you know, hey, just be aware of this when you're out, or, you know, if you're leaving, make sure you just lock up, make sure you put your stuff away, don't leave your garage open, you know, don't leave your car unlocked, that kind of shit. But really, again, back to it, it's petty. It seems like it could be a group of kids, you know, just be aware of that. But other than that, it's like there's not a negative ending. It's a positive ending. So even if something like petty theft occurs, it's going to get resolved very quickly. Like rather quickly, it's going to get resolved. Like that person might even get caught like the second that they try to do it. Like that kind of thing. So, but romantically, this looks great. I mean, it looks insanely confusing for the time being. If you're in the Empress energy here, like you might be confused, but I feel like you're like, no, I got it. Like, because you're sitting at the Empress. You don't sit in the Nine of Swords. The Empress energy does not sit in the Nine of Swords for very long. The Empress energy transmutes that energy, shifts out of that energy, and says, hey, okay, I'm noticing that I'm feeling this way, so I'm going to channel this. I'm going to move this energy. I'm going to cultivate this energy. So that's great. Honestly, like that's a beautiful thing to be. That's a beautiful energy. So this looks really good. Honestly, Cancer, this looks really good. I know it seems like it was probably murky in the beginning, but I feel like you're going to get clarity like really soon. I feel like you're going to get clarity. Like really soon. And I feel like it's after a time period of somebody maybe taking time for themselves, or like just maybe not talking. Like there's some type of distance. I don't know if somebody's traveling or somebody lives a little bit of a distance from you, but there's some sort of like a separation period that is taking place. So I hope that these messages helped, Cancer, Cancerians. Hope that this helped. It looks like you guys are coming in as strong earth, fire. There's some water in here, but you guys are really coming in as earth. So I will come back at a later time and do Scorpio. Hi, good boy. I'm going to go take my good boys outside. Yeah. But it's a little hot, but only for like a couple minutes. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. I will talk to you guys soon. I wish you guys the best. Take care. Good boy.